So welcome back for the fourth class. This is our fourth class for Jira. So we were working on the Jira actually. Okay, just hide it out. And we were actually, working with our tool to how to use that tool actually. So overall, if you happen to be a developer or tester or architect or business analyst or product owner, Scrum Master or manager or whatever position you are, whatever role you are, we are trying to understand this tool overall. This is a cloud tool basically. This is a cloud. That means it is hosted in someone's server, and actually it's hosted on their own company's server. So okay, so in this class this class is for creating defects. So far we created test cases, remember? You see here? Yeah, so see, it shows right up here. So whatever we have done shows up here actually. So that's the reason this dashboard is good, except this introduction. I don't know who needs this introduction, but once you know it, you really don't need this actually. You just I'll keep the, I don't want to remove it, but it's okay. Sometimes I want to take it out. User guide, okay, that's fine. So alright, so here what we are going to discuss is about how to open defects. Okay, so as I told you, there is always one button. Click on this and get this pop-up window. It's taking too long. Alright, and here again you can select the projects, which project. There are plenty of projects. I know which project you're working on. So this is the same project where we created test cases, so I'll be creating a bug for this test cases. Okay, now this will be simple, but what I'm trying to show here is how to open defects, but not how to take out defects. Okay, to take in defects in an application is a whole different thing altogether, but using this tool and opening the defect is a different thing. Okay, so if you want more information on how you actually take a defect, or you actually open a defect, you want to go to my class. That's QA assurance, quality assurance class, which is there. You want to see there how you actually open the defects. But here I'm not showing how to open defects. Here what I'm showing you is how you can use this tool as a defect tracking tool. Right? Alright, so here let's go back to our so here let's say here we whoops, okay, we have this one. Oops, not this. These guys have really good things and all that stuff, but I missed that. So I'm not doing application because that. Oops, wrong. Don't need this. Okay, I guess I have to Google it again. Okay, these guys have a lot of GMO posters actually. Okay, so let's see. Let's see here. Here what I'm trying to show you here is how do you open actually defect. No, not how you open, but I already have a defect. Let's say I already have a defect. Now let's put this number high. I'm just showing you the 24, 6. Let's use this. I'll just show you this an example, and just to show you an example here. Okay, so yeah, I know what's the defect here. So what a defect I'm opening is shipping and handling fee. So my question here is, like, when I'm trying to order these many quantities, I'm getting shipping as just $5, where These are in it's just like it's coming up in $1,000,000. All right, and that and USPS only takes $5. It's completely nonsense. All right, so this will be a bug. I would take it as a bug. Um, Even if you ship from USPS, they will take a lot more money. But when you're shipping in this much quantity, but this is it's a different thing that they might give you for free of cost because you're ordering in large quantity. So I'm not worried about it, but what I'm trying to here is open a defect. So let me keep my tools ready. Oops, sorry. I just want here to undo it. I'll change this color to red in this one. Okay, so this is good. When I'm just keeping my defect ready actually. So I know my defects. This is my defect. Okay, and okay, I'll just save this on new, and I'll just name it. Maybe I'll name it as defect. And save it at desktop, and but you want to save it in specific directory or something if you're working on it, but here I'm just for ease of convenience, I'm just saving in desktop. So okay, so here how do you open defect here? So now I already know what's the defect, shipping and handling fee. So what I'll do here is GMO online. So the way I create, you don't have to be that way. You can be creative, but here what I'm trying to use is just few words on what the project is all about. My project is GMO online. Great. What's the issue? Shipping and handling. Let's differentiate. Okay. Shipping and handling fee. One line of this, what's the issue? So this and let's say if it's an production issue, I would create as critical issue and say a production issue. Production. This will alarm everyone in the whole team, but here we are not doing here, we don't need it, but this is my way of doing it. It's not necessary that you have to do it, but you can be creative of doing how to open a defect. But if it's a production issue, you want to highlight this is a production issue, or this is a critical issue, or you can use a critical issue. Okay, critical issue. Oops, spelling mistake. Okay, and put in stars. This gets attention of not just dev team but whole team altogether. Your boss, Scrum Master, architect, developer, testers, all other testers in your team, and Scrum Master. I'll not be surprised it goes to director and say what's going on with this production issue, because there will be a lot of pressure from the management. So you don't want to do this unless you have a really good reason to do that. So unless it's really production issue. So so here what GMO online shipping and handling fee. Okay. And no need to put anyone's name or something here. You already know who is opening, so everyone knows who is opening and which project is this, so it will be pretty much familiar. So okay, so description, you want to write here description. So what I'll write here is whenever I'm ordering a large quantity, really bad at the spelling mistakes. Got used to the autocorrect. So whenever I'm ordering large quantity, here we're trying to order large quantity. Okay, here is shipping and handling fee is displayed as $5. Okay, $5. Okay, so what I'll do is, for more information, please view the screenshot. Without screenshot, if I am a boss, I'll reject the defect. Okay, because if you are not using a screenshot, that means developer won't know. So if developer reads this, do you really think he understands? Whenever I'm ordering large quantity shipping and handling fees displayed as $5, what do you mean? No? Unless you want to give this URL, this URL, okay. So what? Developer won't understand. So what am I supposed to do with this? So that's what the developer will be, we'll be looking at. So he doesn't care, he doesn't know, because see, whenever you are opening an issue, right, you don't know what exactly the issue is. Okay, of course you know what the issue is. It's not supposed to show $5. Why not? Here's the thing. You're being in Delaware. If you're being in Delaware, there is no tax on goods and services, right? Delaware, Texas, not sure. Yeah, Delaware, I never paid this tax for this. Or whenever you ship to Delaware, there's no tax. Oh, I'm sorry. Shipping and sales tax. Sorry. So actually, this is another defect. Okay, this is sales tax will be another defect. Oh, what kind of amount is this? Okay, so if I'm shipping to Delaware, there is no tax there. There is no sales tax. So this number is a defect, a pure defect. This will be a defect if you're you can put a lawsuit on this if this thing is charging you on sales tax when you're in Delaware. This is seriously a big issue. Okay, now somebody is going to get fired if in the team if this is not tested appropriately, right? There is no sales tax in Delaware, and customer gets this billing, and if the customer is a company, corporate guy, oh my, don't even bother. They will have lawsuits like you have, there's just like plenty of lawsuits for everything. So, they will catch everything that out there. So you cannot tax a person in Delaware, sales tax especially. You cannot sales tax. So that will be a different issue altogether. Okay, never mind. So what we are talking about is shipping and handling for all this much quantity. Even if you ship it through USPS, let's say I'm going through to USPS, United States Postal Services, no FedEx, not whether FedEx or UPS, not worry about it. We'll just go simple USPS. Even if you ship USPS doesn't charge $5 for these many quantities. They are making business there. They are not doing social service to do $5. So this is the issue. Alright, so I know that's an issue, right? I want this to explain to my developer, but for developer I don't know. Right, now as a tester, let's say I'm a tester because I'm opening a defect as a tester, right? But the point is, even developer doesn't know unless and until it gets investigated. So it can be an ETL issue, it can be a Java issue, it can be an Ajax issue, it can be an HTML issue, it can be anything. We don't know until and unless the developer investigates that issue and goes to the dev lead, and they say, okay, this issue is caused by this ETL, or it's a Java or JavaScript, or some issue, some altogether different team altogether, or third party or something else, something. Okay, but for us it's an issue. I mean, as a tester, sorry, I'm talking as a tester because I'm a tester. So for me as a tester, I will take it as issue. I don't care it is a Java issue, I don't care it is a ETL issue, I don't care it is a, I want this issue to be opened in this, so I'm creating issue. Now since nobody knows, you have found out, great, you have found this issue. What you want to do is you want to include screenshots. So remember we took a screenshot. Where is it? Alright. Defects. Okay, here you go. Great, and I'll just insert it. some reason, why it's the cursor was really bad. So okay, we'll just this is already inserting here, but this is creating some, I don't need this. Okay, problem is that must be a bug from Jira itself, so I'll not be surprised. Okay, so here, so what I'm trying to say is, whenever I'm ordering large quantity, shipping and handling fee is displayed as $5, and that's an issue. It has to go to the business analyst, it has to go to the product owner and see what it has to be done with that, why it's showing $5 and it's supposed to show the $5. And if it is not, then why not? You should have a discussion on this, saying, well, why it is display $5? How come when you are ordering this quantity showing as $5? This makes no sense at all. Nobody charges $5 for that. So you will be having a big discussion on that from your QA lead, business analyst, developer, if you have meeting. Otherwise, this is a plain defect. Okay, plain simple defect which should be resolved as a tester. Okay, even developers, even developer has to see that it's an issue. All right, priority. So we didn't talk about this. There is two things called priority and severity here in this defects. Here it's not. Priority is something which how soon it should be fixed, right? Severity is the impact of bug. Is it impacting the production? Is it impacting the test environment? Is it impacting the dev environment? Is it impacting something else? We'll say what is impact? That's a severity. Okay, that's not written here. So priority for now we'll just made as medium. Okay, so medium. We can so there's options here: highest, high, low, lowest. Lowest is kind of cosmetic issues. Let's say you've opened some issues, cosmetic issues, like for example, this GM online should be in blue color, or maybe it's a light green color showing a dark green color. That's a lowest priority, but still an issue. I would take it as an issue. I don't care, for me it's, see, this is where this is if I'm a tester, I'm a tester, so I'll think as a tester, not as a developer. Although I have developed applications, few of the applications, but I still consider myself as a tester. So for me, if I lose, a mistake of $1 is a mistake, and a mistake of $1 million is still a mistake, right? That's how I think. That's how, as a tester, I think. Remember this, a mistake of $1 is still a mistake, and a mistake of $1 million is still a mistake. So if this is if the business requirement, you're supposed to have requirement for this, or you have to check with product owner if you don't have a requirement. If this shows it should be green color, light green color, and showing as blue color, and it's still a mistake. Remember, a mistake of $1 is still a mistake, a mistake of $1 million is still a mistake. So that's how I take it. Okay, that's how I consider when I'm doing testing. That's the level of testing I do. Okay, so for now we'll take this as a medium. This is not high priority unless and until this would be a production. If this is a production, of course this will be a highest priority. But if you are working in test environment, I would not worry much and put it as medium. But although you put this will be changed by your boss or by your lead, this might be changed by a dev manager or whoever is managing, Scrum Master. Scrum Master plays the little role on this, but still they can do. Dev manager, they might also change it. They have complete access for this, so they might no, this is the highest, and they'll put highest. So if they think that, if developer manager thinks that it's the highest priority, then it's the highest priority. don't argue with developers. Not a good idea. Okay, so not always a good idea. I mean, you can just convince them, but it's not necessary. You have to always argue. Okay, so labels, you can put a label here. Now, as a tester, I am not sure how much time will, so this should be fixed, right? For me, it should be fixed. Okay. So what I'll do is, it's more of a, oh, they have this helpline. Okay, this doesn't help much. This is more for a developer point of view. So developer actually puts invest some time to investigate what exactly this issue is, why this issue is causing, and what's the issue is all about, and it should be there. And so these two things should be actually put by this developer point of view actually. So they will be putting, so let's say, so this will take a time. So because it has, let's say you assign some developer to this, see if these teams are good, you are lucky. So what happens, right, in one of the company they have this triage thing. So if you don't know which developer, because you'll be working with a lot of people, and especially when you're in the large companies like Amazon, Google, something like that, there are like plenty of people who will be working on this. Okay, so you don't know exactly the developer who is responsible for this, because as I told you, it might be a Java issue, it can be ETL issue, it can be any issue, we don't know. So but first thing is, it has to be get investigated. Someone has to take its responsibility. Normally dev lead has to take the responsibility to figure it out what exactly the issue is and who is responsible and who can fix this issue. Okay, so they will have a little larger time, maybe 10 hours or something, whole day, almost whole day gets on with this to figure it out what's the issue. So they will be putting this the original estimate time and the remaining time, so we don't worry much on that one. Alright, so let's go to the next one, this environment. So what environment are you working? So we didn't discuss about this. Actually there are three types of environments. There is dev environment, so development environment, there's test environment, there's production environment. There will be n number of environments. Okay, you can take performance environment, you can take QA1, QA2, QA3, dev1, dev2, dev3, so on. Production environment also will be, they can have this production environment is, this customer environment. Let's take example, google.com. This is a production. User is accessing this, user trying to Google it here. So this is a production environment, and domain, you see this domain www.google.com. So that's a production environment. So I hope you got some idea on this environment kind of thing. So here in this case, I'll just put as test environment. Okay, you might have something, if you're working on ETL, you might have staging environment. That's also kind of test environment. So and if you are opening as a production, normally you don't open issues in production. If you are opening a defects in production, so you must be some experienced guy, some really working from years together to open defects in production environment. Normally you don't open in production environment. So we'll just put as test environment, or if you have more than one environment, you can put as staging environment or something like that. For now we'll skip this one, we'll just put as test environment, because defects are normally opened by testers, not developers. Oh, of course, sometimes developers might take an issue, but really that's not really a good idea. If they take an issue, that means your job will be in trouble. If you are a tester, the question comes from the boss. Now you get a call from a boss, hey, can you stop by my desk, then that means you are in trouble. So they'll ask why this bug was opened by development team. Why didn't you open this issue? Why was not this defect found in test environment? Why it was found in that? So it would be really a bad idea if developer opens a defect in a test environment. That will be a negative impact from them too, because they are not supposed to worry about test environment. But it will be also a question from your boss saying that why did they open defect in test environment and how come you didn't open it. So all right, so that's how you do it. That's how you open here. And due date, we know this due date, do we? So we'll do, let's say it's a 2-week sprint, and also we'll just put it as just put as 1 month, and this is 1 month, and due date should be it should be fixed by 1 month. Let's say our this project, this particular sprint is moving to this, our particular project should be ended by this March 28th, and so this due date is the date when it's actually the project moves into production. Okay, so all right, and next, blocks. So this is a good question. So if there are any other clones, let's say somebody else opened a similar issue, a different version but a similar issue. Let's take an example here. Okay, we just take that same values here, and let's say sales tax. Let's say those guys open this sales tax, but these two things are related to same thing. Let's assume, not necessarily it should be same, but so what happens is developer rejects this defect, saying this there is already defect, but your defect is nothing to do with the tax, right? It's nothing to do with the tax. But now what developer says that if that, they don't say directly, so they would you would end up understanding that if that defect get fixed, your defect get fixed. That's how you end up in understanding. So what you want to do is, in that case, you want to is caused by, is relates to, this would be much more weird, relates to issue number. If you know the issue number, just put the issue number, or you can browse it here, I guess. Yeah, you can browse it here and see what's the issue, and you can use this one. Or if it blocks, let's say because of this defect you are unable to proceed your task, you are unable to proceed with your test cases because it's a high, in that case this will be an highest priority, because you are not able to move forward. So in that case you want to use this blocks. Is blocked by, not blocks, it's blocking all your test cases, it's blocking whole your work. Sometimes it blocks whole company. Now there is a scenario where I used to work in one of the company. There was one production issue. Luckily that company was very good, and recently they got this award as best company to work in, and I was the lucky guy to work in that company because the environment was really good. There was no other environment like this I found in my whole career till date, but that was really great. So there was an issue which was open, and it was a production defect. So whenever I was trying to dial a number, it was not working. So doing some please call customer care or something like that. So I opened a defect. So developer said, rejected it, said that it's already is open and we are working from past 3 hours. So I said, oh, I just came 9 a.m. and past 3 hours. So wow. Alright, so that was the issue, and there was like I think 10 to 15 defects, duplicates. That's the reason we have these duplicates too. So duplicates, because all the testers, all the developers, all people were opening the defects, keep opening the defects, and because of that, developer rejected. But for me, I don't. For me, this is a defect, so I don't accept the rejection. I would, put as something like it's caused by. Maybe I'll put as caused by and put the issue. So even developer knows that, and I'll not close it. You might reject it, but I'll not close it until and unless that defect is fixed. See that my issue is fixed. Because it's not necessary that if that issue is fixed, my issue is fixed. Not necessary always. So that's the reason I keep my issues always open unless my issue is fixed. Okay, that's how I maintain the discipline while using the testing. All right. So now, Scott, if you know this, you can put that number. So this is not working. This IATTFF. Input this. Here we'll not do this, but we will just ignore this one for now. We'll not worry about it. Assignee. So who is the exact person for this? So normally you don't know. So if you're lucky enough, if your lead is good, you can you can check with your lead. You call it the lead, saying that, hey, you know what, I opened this issue, and can I assign it to the developer? I'm not exactly sure who is the developer for this. But once you get used to the team, you will know who is the developer and who will be working on it. So that will not be an issue. But to start with, if you are lucky, your lead will help you out. If not, then you have to figure it out who is the exact guy who will resolve this issue. Then you have to assign it to that guy. If there is an epic, you can put epic, and once you are done with this, click on create. Alright, so oops, before this goes, it's gone. Alright, so we have just opened an issue, and let's find out what is that. I know which projects because this is the project I'm working on, so I'll go to this project and I will find out where is exactly my issue is. So this is my issue. How do I know? Because it's a red color. You see this red color with white icon. This is the issue, and this is a screenshot, and everything looks good. This is the issue. Now here it's very important to put in progress. Now see this small thing. How it can get you into trouble. Let me give you an example here. This is a very small thing, in progress or to do. Just status in review is supposed to change by the developer point of view, but let me give you an example. So why this is so important, this status. How can it get into you into a trouble? See, what happens is, let's say you forgot you just put it to do and you forgot it. It has been 2 weeks and this issue is not resolved. You get a call from your boss and get a call. So remember, whenever you get a call from your boss, that means you are in trouble. Okay. So your boss asks why the status is in to do and why it's not in progress. You really need to have some really good reason for this to explain this. Otherwise, if you don't have any answer for this, then that means you don't know how to use this tool. Simple. And if you don't know, so it's heads up for you. It's you don't even get this warning signal. It's yellow card, green card. You don't have all this red card. You get fired. So you cannot say I forgot to put. It has been 1 week and the status is not changed to in progress. Sometimes the developer don't get this email. You have to manually set it, screenshot and send it to the email, and then so that's how it is important this is. So if your boss says that, why this status is not in progress and why it's to do in progress, now you don't have any explanation there, because you cannot say I forgot. That's not the real answer. So you have to be very careful in this, on this. Okay, so and you can write comments. Developer even can write comment here. So let's say as per the dev team, this issue is moving into next release. As per the dev team, this is you can write it here so that everyone knows this, and you can also set emoticon for this, as if this is the Facebook. Wow. I don't know. Maybe I would do how to use a Facebook rather than how to use a Jira tool. This is you have this emoticon for defects. This sounds like, I don't know. This is a disaster. Maybe I should start giving introduction on Facebook, how to which emoticons you have to use for which comments and all those things. This is a disaster. So I really don't like such kind of things, but of course you have this option for this, because these guys are like moving into kind of Facebook kind of thing. Not a very good idea always, because you have to be professional when you're working in in such environment, of course, because there will be a lot of stress, and the reason because it should be get fixed as soon as possible. You don't have this playing thing, it's no more waterfall. So waterfall, you have a lot of time. Used to have this lot of time, but here you don't. If you are in agile, remember to save it. If you are in agile, then you have to move fast. Okay. So this is how you can open defect in Jira. Okay, so I hope this should answer most of the questions. So previously I think I didn't this was not complete, because I'm not giving you the complete information on how to do procedure testing. You want to go ahead and see my QA class for that. That has more detailed information. Here I'm just trying to give introduction on the tools. So okay, this thing suddenly changed. This was really good, but we'll try to refresh it. And see, there is no screenshot. So if there is no screenshot, if I am a boss, I will reject this issue, because okay, this is a task, so I will not bother about it. But if it's a defect, this is not created by me. This is not me. Which is me. Oh, this is my. Okay. So it's very imperative that you want to make sure all these are in place when you open defects. Comments are irrelevant. You don't comment it. On top of that, you have this emoticons, so that people know you're happy or you're angry, or you're sad with this defect, you're crying because you cannot solve it. All those things don't happen. I don't think that's a really good idea to put this, unless you're working in such kind of play around area. Still, even if you're working in very calm and nice environment, you have to be professional. This doesn't look professional having this emoticons and all those things, but it's looks like these guys are moving to kind of Facebook kind of thing. So okay, so this is how you open a defect. Okay, so once it's fixed, you retest it. Go ahead and see this, and you put the same values. Check it here if it's showing, still showing, or they change the value, or they want to remove it. However, the business wants to do it, and once it's you retest it, you have to retest it again and close it to done. Once it's done, it's done. That means it goes. This bug moves out from the project technically. So you see this? It's gone. You can see that in done issues. Go ahead and click on done issues, and you can see here these are done. That means these are completed. Okay, so these issues are done normally. This can be, you can use this as an agile or waterfall, doesn't matter. But the point is, this is how you can open defects in Jira. Right, so okay, so we'll just touch base on little bit on agile environment. How does this work? So this was more for waterfall or any other methodology, but we'll just pretty much go pretty quick on this on agile actually. So this is the agile kind of thing. Okay, so far we opened defects for waterfall. Let's take as waterfall here. All right, very good. Here you have, let's say this is the task. Now say you see this tick mark shows that it's a task. Green color, the plus icon, shows this is as a feature, and again this is the first, and red color with a circle item shows as a bug. You have to remember that. Okay, and you have this, if you see this, the left column is completely changed, right? This is completely changed, and you don't see anything like issues or something like that, right? You just say backlogs and active sprints. So let's go to the active sprints. We'll talk about this actually. So once you go to backlog, so this is a sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, so on, and this is a backlog. Now business analyst has this access to move this, let's say they have this access to this green color fixed. So these are not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be in backlog first place. Defects are not, oh yeah, you can put defect. See, sometimes what happens is, when you open a defect, sometimes it's too big that it becomes a feature for the next sprint. Okay, the defect is so big that they make it as a feature. In that case, this becomes a backlog. So I agree with that. But this task is never should be supposed to be a backlog. But yeah, of course you can put those. So what you can do is you can change this backlogs. I don't know why that thing showed up. So right, I can drag and drop right here. So I can drag and go right up here and put into sprint 2. Okay, so this is the job of a normally business analyst or product owner. These backlogs, they can move as much as they want. So it's a QA. We go top of the here and put in sprint 3. This is the highest priority and it should go to the sprint 3. Or you can move this, not you, product owner, and put in the backlog again. You can create backlog anytime you want here. Okay, just create an issue and change this icon. It's a bug, improvement, a task, and so much you can do. Or put in backlog or put in the sprint, you can do right from here. Okay, I'll just cancel this. We will not doing that. So just for your understanding actually how you can move the backlogs into various sprints: sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is how it works in agile methodology. So this is an agile project. So far in previous project, if you see that, we did that for kind of waterfall. So that was a traditional way of doing it. This is more aggressive. Agile is very aggressive. You have to move fast. See, one day you open defect, next day it should be fixed. Not next day, it's same day the developer actually fix it and says that to test it, you know. So they have these builds, you know, 3 builds. Let's say the build is in 11 a.m., 2 p.m. or 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. 3 builds, and developer checks in the code, and once it gets into say, okay, I'm putting in 3 p.m. build, and you can start testing, and you have to start testing at that time. But if you don't have time, normally it's, you know, time constraint, because after 3 you might be working on something else, or you might be busy. So in that case, next day you'll be testing it, and you know, you close the defect. So that's how you can do it. But you know, this is how you can use this. All right, let's go to the board kind of thing, you know. So actually, you know, this backlogs and this board is kind of similar kind of things, but this is for sprint 1. We have sprint 2 too. So okay, never mind. So let's say, so we have done this, right? But here you have this, you know, this is a task. You can see this is a bug, and you can close this task. So this to do, you can just click and drag it here and put it in feature. I'm sorry, just put it in progress. That means this should be always in progress, whatever you're working. If it's a future project, then it could be a to do process. Otherwise, everything should be in progress. You cannot just put something in you know, to do and say no in progress. You can't do that. You have to put in progress, or there is one option in review too. Sorry, you can put it in review. In progress means yes, it goes into review. And once it's done, you drag and drop here, it's done. Okay, so this is kind of board kind of thing. See the way they came up, right? Actually, let me show you one thing. Let's actually want to show you. Is this the one? Actually, no, they came up with this, the board. Yeah, this is a traditional board actually. The way you do in agile, this is how the story to do in progress and testing. The similar way they have implemented online. That's all. This is not something new. Okay, you can just drag and drop. Here you use sticky notes instead of this. We use, so this is better, right? This requires a lot of resources, like a lot of people. Scrum Master have to arrange board, you have to take printouts of this user stories, and you have to create all the sticky notes and all the stuff. No, here we are doing nothing here. The time gets slashed a lot, so you have a lot of time to do this. Okay, so this is how you can do. So this is a traditional way of doing it. You see the sticky notes, and each color, you know, actually this color also, sometimes this color actually mentions is it a tester, is it a developer, you know, something like that, or it might be a feature, or you know, it depends on which one they're working on. So that's how, you know, you can, so you can complete this. If you click on complete, the sprint is complete. Okay, so this is, and you can open, I think you can supposed to open bug from here too, but let's see. Open issues. This didn't do anything. No, this doesn't help. Okay, so in there is a one more tool actually, Team Foundation Server, TFS. You can create issue right from here, so there is no reason to go back here and do this. So this is for sprint 1, right? What we are seeing here is for sprint 1. See here, GMO sprint 1. I want to go to I don't think we'd go to sprint 2 before moving to the sprint 1. This is completely different thing to create a board. Print cards, hide epic levels. Okay, so yeah, you can use this option here to do this, in progress and all those things. Close this. It's good. This board is good. So that's how you can do this in Jira. Okay, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to have to go to sprint 2, but it's not allowing me. Maybe if I complete this sprint, it goes to sprint 2. Yeah, see here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just put everything in done so that I can close it, complete the sprint. Only Scrum Master can actually complete the sprint. Okay, now you don't have access to this. This is a job of Scrum Master. And there is a sprint report, very interesting for this. Sprint retrospective, you can create sprint retrospective. And okay, reporting, we'll talk about this next class. We will quickly wrap it up this class, but let's go to backlog. Active sprints. How interesting. There's no active sprints. This thing gone completely out of control. Okay. IATT, so this is the one we are looking for. Board name sprint 2. Okay, so here I have to start this sprint, otherwise it doesn't go. Okay, let's go to start sprint, and that's how you get into sprint. Okay, so you cannot go to this at one time. You can use only one sprint. Okay, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. You cannot do both at simultaneously, as far as I know, right? So that's pretty much about it. So here, if you see here, the sprint 1 is closed. Now I don't want sprint 1 to be closed, so what we'll do here is we will resurrect that closed sprint. Oh, can I? Oh, actually I can create a new sprint. Let's see, if I can go to this closed sprints, we can create this, but I don't think you have this option of going closed sprint. Okay, so you can edit sprints. Guess what, I can create my own sprint right now actually. Let's go back here, and I'll create my own sprint. Okay, so create board. I'll go to Scrum board, existing board name is GMO sprint 1. never created this sprint. So once you close this, actually is, that thing is gone. That's the problem. So be careful with that. This is, once you close the sprint, that sprint is gone. You have to open a new sprint. So that's pretty much about about this. No, we don't want to do this anymore because it's we go to backlog. So this should be good. Here you can actually create sprint. Supposed to create sprint. You see here, let's create sprint here. We want to name it as, I cannot even name it as, it's a problem. So you can create n number of sprint even if it is closed. I don't care. I can create a number of sprints. If just one sprint got closed, doesn't matter. I'll pull up in this yes and yes. Okay, so that's how I can do this. I can create one sprint is gone, doesn't matter. We can move forward with plenty of sprints. You can just create a number of sprints as much as you want. And not everyone can create sprint. It's up to the Scrum Master to create the sprint. Okay, so that's pretty much. I hope you like this class, and if you have questions, you can go ahead and look into it. There's help around here, help, and you can go ahead and post in the community or something, or you can reach out to me if you want. That's fine. Either way, I'll be doing the same. Most probably I'll be googling and seeing what's the issue is and try to figure it out. Okay, so so I hope you like this class. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next class.